Yeah.
No.
Shut up.
Pero, no? Yeah. Okay, so we read a text that talked about sustainable energies, and it told the story about a village called Sopon. This village was really poor, and a dome was built in the place where villagers used to live. But the interesting part of this text is that it told that the villagers were moved to a better place, like they made them houses with electricity and water and many things that they didn't have before. But also there was a controversy because groups of human rights said that the people that used to live in those places won't have like the resources to have their jobs again, because many of them worked with natural resources that they took from the place that the dome is using right now. And that's why the title of the text actually says with a question mark, sustainable development.
Yeah, and that's like the controversial part of the title, because when you think about sustainable development, you start thinking in general terms that is something for the earth or for is something that will help a group of people or our entire community to develop new energies, new jobs, quality of life, and stuff like that. But the question mark and also the contents of the text talks about like the opposite, or that could be the opposite, when the group of people that is against this sustainable development start talking about the details that they have, or the details that they're going to lose, like the previous jobs that they have and all the previous work that they had, in order to change everything for sustainable energy that obviously will help the community in order to get jobs, new jobs, in order to sustain with new energies the earth and the resources that they have, and also to produce more money. That is like the World Bank is seeking, like another earning process with sustainable energies. But they're not thinking about the community itself. Like they're thinking about what we will want, what we will win with this, and they're not thinking about that group, that specific group of people that is against the World Bank, that has all of these details that I already mentioned. I don't know if you agree.
Well, in my opinion, exists two diverse perspectives about this topic, a positive and a negative one. Well, on one hand, we have the positive one that is related with the use of sustainable energies, that is very important to the planet, and also with the care of the environment, with the wildlife, the flora and fauna, and that is very positive to well, our future and the future of the people also, and also to the planet. Well, the negative perspective was related with the sense of belonging of the people that was translated or moved from that places to another ones, because they developed some different levels of accustom in some sense, and in that way that could affect them in the future, because they have like a lack of all jobs, and in the same way we can relate that with in some way with the lack of opportunities in that way. Well, I tend to make the comparison with the case of the beavers in the southern part of this country, because they create dams. Yeah. They create dams in that sector of our country, and it's very important because we can make like the comparison of the hydroelectric power plants with the case of the beavers, and also the beavers are shaping in some way the environment in the southern part of the country, and that could happen with the implementation of these hydroelectric plants. What do you think, Fernanda?
Yeah, I think one of the most important things is that the government, or the ones who are in charge of creating new energies or sources of energy, should take care of the people who lives on the places where these new energies are created, because they are the ones who are more affected by all this. They should know where they are going to live in the future and what they are going to do for a living too, because they can have like positive things about this new source of energy, like in short term, but people should also take care of long-term things, because it's very likely that they will have to change the way that they live and what they do for a living. So it's important to know whether and have alternatives for them.
Yes, as you just said, I think that the fact that the bank moved them to a better place was really nice, and it's something that doesn't usually happen. But on the other hand, they will sell this energy to Thailand to erase poverty, and probably the villagers that were there before won't see those results and will still will keep on living in a bad place with no money and jobs. And I think that the company or the bank that built this dam should take care of these villagers and offer them jobs or alternatives to keep on living in that place, because they have been there from many years before the dam was built, and they have the rights to stay there. And so I believe that it is really important that these companies also take care of like the human part of the whole industry and money and things like that. They also need to see the part of the people.
Yeah, I agree with you, because, like you said, the company has just been thinking about the earnings that they will have as a company, and in a second level, they're thinking about the people and the things that they need, the basic needs that they have, because in comparison with, I don't know, our context in Chile, we have basic things like water, clean water, and we have a basic salary that we usually save in a bank account. But if we talk about the villagers, they don't have anything. They just have their jobs, but they're not going to have it anymore because of this hydroelectric. But it's supposed to be that they are going to have new jobs, but we don't know how long this could help the villagers, because they had everything working with the fishes or the lands or etc. The thing is that the company and all the different companies that think about sustainable development should start thinking firstly about the people that live there, and take care about the people that live there, instead of preventing some events that will happen in other areas, because what the thing is happening in Thailand, they're working in that village in order to take care about Thailand, or to preserve poverty in Thailand. So they should take care about the villagers there first.
Well, a few years ago, a pretty similar topic happened here in Chile. In the case of the project Hydroisen, that was very polemic in that years, and in the same way, all people was disagree about the settlement of the building of this hydroelectric power plant in the southern part of our country. And well, in my opinion, I think that it's necessary to, in some way, see the diverse opinions of people. That is very important, and especially from people that are living in that position, people that live near to the river of that. Well, I think that it was called the Baker River. We need to, in some way, see how they how they think about this process. That is very important because they could change or could erase in some way what they have been building all their life in that places. That is very important. And in the same way, I think that the use of these renewable energies in the country is very positive because we tend to avoid the use of some other kind of energies, like for example the fossil fuels, like for example the natural gas and the petrol. That is a very polemic and controversial topic these days because that in the end it produce a lot of harmful to the environment. And in that way, I think that the sustainability in that aspect is very important. But in the same way, I think that it's necessary to take in consideration the opinions of these people. What do you think, Fernando?
Yeah, well, I think that to conclude, we can say that we all agree that sustainable development is important, not only for the people in the world, but also for the world in general, because it's important to create new energies in order to preserve our planet. But when at the time that these new energies are created, it should always take care of the people who live and the places where these new sources of energy are created, because they are mainly affected about this. But also it should take care about the flora and the fauna of those places, because our world is not only ours, but also it's of the animals and the plants, and so it's important to create something that helps everyone, not only to a group of people. Igual cometíamos un montón de errores, pero
Yo creo que mucho menos que